Hey everyone, my name is David and welcome back to BrickVault, the best place on the internet for custom instructions, and today we have another one joining our awesome collection on BrickVault. This is the Stinger Mantis from the games Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor. In the game you play as Cal Kestis, a Jedi who survived Order 66 and makes his way through the universe in this ship. It's basically a flying apartment with a kitchen, a workbench, a sitting area, even a mini garden is present on this ship, so it's quite the cozy ride if you have to travel long distances. This model, designed by Will Robinson, who has previously designed a handful of builds for BrickVault, has a full interior as well, comes with a black display stand as well as attachable landing gear, and all that built using 4000 pieces. And if you want to assemble these pieces as well to build this playscale Stinger Mantis, you can find the building instructions and parts list on our website www.brickvault.toys. You know the deal, and if you want to get an estimate on how much the parts will set you back before you buy any of our instructions, you can find the parts list for Bricklink as a free download on each product page. Again, that's brickvault.toys. You can also click the first link in the video description, that'll take you directly to this model, but make sure to watch this video to the end first so you know what an awesome build you're getting. This Stinger Mantis fits what we call our play scale, which is basically a cheaper, oftentimes smaller version of a model that features all the play features you'd expect from an official LEGO set, but looking much better. So this model is not minifigure scale, but still large enough to fit an awesome interior that we will come to in a few minutes. It comes with two display options, the first one being on a black stand and the other one includes the landing gear. On the stand, this model is pretty sizable, almost 1 meter tall with 86.5 centimeter to be exact. Here is my backpack that I have since I'm 13 for size reference. The building process was really nice and relatively straightforward. You basically build 4 sub-assemblies that later get put together. This back section is one of the sub-assemblies, then the middle section with the large fins which gets built first, then you have the long front section and the stand. And then you just build the landing gear components separately. But let's first take a look at all details on the outside. The build is really smooth, what you don't expect from a LEGO set. It only shows the necessary studs like from wedge plates or brackets, for example. This is the blue version. I remember in the game you have the option to customize this ship's appearance, but arguably this is the most recognizable color scheme, I'd say. It's also supposed to be a more regular blue compared to some customs out there using dark blue. You can clearly see that in some of the shots from the game. Starting in the front, you can see the windscreen area where the pilots can look out. Actually, clear pieces have been used here, so technically it's possible to look outside from the inside. I have to say, Will Robinson really did a great job blending the angled side walls into the curvature of the roof. No gap can be found here, which is really nice to see. We have some trans blue pieces here to represent lights or windows, I'm not too sure. A little further back you can find the boarding ramp that is mirrored from side to side. Will included a little extension for it when it's open, so it looks like in the game. You can also take off a bit of the roof to make more space for minifigs walking off. On top you have some details and greebles as well as a window in the back. This whole roof panel can be taken off in 2 parts, but I'll come to that in a minute. Let's finish off the rest of the exterior first. The top fin and side engine get built first and are really sturdy. This whole centerpiece just gets connected with a long axle to both the back section and the front section, which is an interesting concept and leads to the whole thing being really modular, which is nice for transport to have these separate components. The stand is only connected to the wing area. The front supports are only there to support the weight of the front, but are not connected to the actual ship. Will also included an optional plaque with the stand and a PNG that you can print on sticker paper or directly onto a large tile. Part of the ship is actually built into the stand. When you take off the model, it leaves part of the underside behind and simultaneously makes space for the landing gear assembly. Very interesting concept. When you want to display the model on the landing gear, you just clip the landing gear assembly into place and then you can attach the front gear and then you only have to fold away the separate thruster. This is the first time I'm doing this right now, so I'm a little extra careful here. I think it works best splitting the ship into 3 sections just to attach the landing gear, and you also get a few transparent pieces to make the landing position a little more stable. I think it looks awesome displayed like this too, and I'm really looking forward to people building a display platform for it. Feel free to send images to me if you're doing this. Now the backside is also done really nicely. I love how Will was able to get the color blocking in there, and I said it before, but the way the sidewalls come up to the roof is super satisfying. The details in the back, like these vents, are also really cool, and believe it or not, but back in here is the first interior section. You can take off the roof, and if you played the game, you know that there should be a workbench in there, and that's exactly what is here. A workbench for customizing lightsabers and a tool for doing so, and on the back wall is a fan that's also present in the game model. But that's the smaller room of the interior. The really good stuff is in the front. Just take off 2 roof panels and you're greeted with a super spacious and cozy minifig compatible interior, modeled after what you see in the game. You're coming from the back through this door into the kitchen area. Here you have a kitchen counter, a soup bowl on top. Not sure what the white round tile is supposed to represent, but it's clearly there in the game. Maybe a plate or so, I don't know. Notice the stud on the floor to place a minifig. You will find studs all over the floor actually, which is nice for play. Further forward you can find a couple of bar stools. They're a little small to have actual minifigs sit on them without falling off, but you can definitely make it work by balancing them. Another counter with a cup on it. Super cozy seating area in the front of the bar. The trans clear brick is supposed to represent a plant inside an open container. Next to it on the wall we have all sorts of plants, because as you may know in the game you can grow plants. Further forward you pass through the hallway, which is the entrance spot of the ship, right into the meeting room. In the middle we have a holo table surrounded by benches. I believe what we'll try to represent here as a hologram are the planets Dathomir, which is the home planet of the Zabrak, the species of Darth Maul, and the green one should be Kashyyyk, I believe, the planet of the Wookiees. Moving into the cockpit you can see we have 3 regular seats and 1 fold down emergency seat. The pilot gets surrounded by all sorts of computers and consoles and all this technical stuff to keep the ship in space. I really like how it's actually possible to look out the windscreen. That's basically it for the interior. Let's come to the handling section of this video, where I gotta show you how sturdy this thing is. After all, it wants to call itself play scale, so it'd rather be sturdy enough to be played with, and I'd say it is. You just need to be aware of the construction, like the fact that we have 3 components here that are connected via a Technic axle, and when it's landed you do have a ton of additional stuff that can fall off if you're a little rough with it. Other than that, I didn't have any issues with this build handling it. It should also be swooshable, but if you want to swoosh it, keep in mind you are missing a part of the underside of the ship when you take off the landing gear and the stand, so that's maybe a slight downside to this build. Other than that, I have to say I really like this model and it's looking really impressive on the stand. I played the first Jedi game myself, so I'm also very familiar with this ship and I can really appreciate all the love that was given, especially to the interior. I think that's where this build excels. If you're a fan of the game and would like to build a Stinger Mantis yourself, even though LEGO hasn't made this ship as a set yet, this is your chance. Just visit BrickVault.toys and take a look yourself. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look and thank you for taking the few minutes of your day to support us in what we do here at BrickVault. Make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to support us even more, and consider buying the instructions. That's the peak level of support, but of course that's 100% up to you. We just love to give you guys and girls the opportunity, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one here at BrickVault.